Hi. So last week I tweeted something. It happens to the best of us. We all tweet sometimes. And I thought it was funny. But I proceeded to get yelled at for like 12 to 27 hours. Let's talk about why. Yeah. And it does suck to get yelled at online, but can I just say, I can't lie, like that 20+ little icon that shows up on my Twitter notifications, that's beautiful to me. Like, I'll do anything. That's candy to my eyes. It's all worth it. For her. Like, it makes me feel famous, even if people are mad. Like, I felt like Tim Chalamet. With one of his hit tweets, like, 3 sleepy emojis next to each other. You remember the one. Or oh na na comma baby dot 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 oh na 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 comma yeah with 2 A's. She popped off 136.4. I'm not kidding. That just sounds like the noises that an infant would make if they wanted food. Tim Chalamet's done it again on Twitter with his tweet, goo goo boo boo applesauce please. Ooh, or his famous, by the way, I'll get to the tweet in a second. His famous retweet of Ellen DeGeneres in 2019, happy birthday at Real Chalamet. You might want to undo that retweet, Timbo. I don't know if you've picked up a newspaper lately. 2 big things have happened. Number 1, pandemic. Number 2, we've all collectively decided to stop watching those compilations of Ellen scaring celebrities on her TV show, because it turned out she was scaring them not just on her TV show, she was doing it backstage too. Turns out scaring humans was the only thing that ever brought Ellen any joy. Turns out the demon that popped out of the cake or whatever and made Justin Bieber pee his Calvin Kleins was Ellen the whole time. That is crazy, by the way. Like, we just let her get away with that. Like, that was a game of control. Like, I bet those videos are a lot more disturbing if you look back at, like, Selena Gomez or whatever. Like, oh my God, Ellen, seriously? I thought that was a real grizzly bear. And you just pan over to Ellen's eyes like, that's right, Selena. I've got the power. Don't you take it away from me. By the way, I don't have an Ellen story, but have I ever told the story of when I was in the same room as Timothée Chalamet one time? I feel like this is worth it. I'll get to the topic of my video after this. Okay, so it was like 2016, and I used to go to these screenings all the time in LA that would have a Q&A afterwards. Like, I would just look them up on the movie theater website and anybody could just buy tickets. And that's the cool thing about living in LA, is the movie stars live there too. The movie stars don't live where you live. Where do you live? Yeah, the movie stars don't live there. Wait, you seriously live there? I'm dead. For why? So like the director, the actors would come out afterwards, and sometimes it would be crowded, and sometimes there'd be like nobody there. Like, I went to one once with like a kind of a famous guy, Jason Schwartzman. He was there. I swear there was like 2 other people, and one of the guys was just asking questions over and over again, trying to give Jason Schwartzman a coupon for karate classes because he ran a karate school, and I didn't say anything. I literally should have been like, hi, how are you? Like, what'd you have for breakfast? That would have been better than what that guy was doing. This is not part of the story. But my mom was visiting me that week, and like, my mom and I always go to the movies. We always have. We can't help ourselves. We're trying to get diagnosed. We don't know what it is exactly. But I was like, I should take my mom to one of these screenings, give the lady a thrill, and I found one online. It was this movie called Ms. Stevens, and I was like, Mom, we're going to Hollywood tonight. I don't yell at my mom. I actually have yelled at my mom like probably 14 times, but I feel guilty afterwards, and that's how you know I'm not Ellen. So we saw this movie and like, it was pretty good, and afterwards the director, the actress, and Tim walked out. Do you think anyone actually calls him Tim, by the way? And by the way, keep in mind, this is 2016. This was before Timmy was famous. Like, this is right before. The only Timmy I knew was Turner and Thick. And there was like under 10 people in the theater, and I swear I am not just saying this because he became famous later. I know it seems like I'm just trying to be cool because he's like one of the biggest movie stars now. I swear I registered in that moment. He was staring at me. Keep in mind, I think the world revolves around me a lot of the time, but I'm not saying he was hitting on me. I'm saying he was like hypnotizing me. Like, I think he was trying to intimidate me. Like, I literally remember doing one of these, like, just the, what? Like, I was almost trying to, like, communicate, like, what? Like, cause my popcorn's too big? Like, I'm hungry. Like, he wanted my boots to shake, like, even just slightly. I could tell that was his goal. And yeah, my mom ended up asking a question that he did answer, and I remember the question was, she asked, how did you guys tackle mental illness in the movie without making it exploitative? And I remember that because that was the moment I realized that the word is exploitative and not exploitive, and I thought my mom had said the word wrong, and I was like, Mom, these are actors, what are you doing? I don't remember what his answer was, but I remember that he was very sincere about it, and like, oh yeah, and probably probably still looking directly at me, and I was probably like, dude, bro, that's my mother. Take a look at her, okay? I don't normally say this, but look at my mom. Her eyes are up here. They're not up here. They're not. Come on, Timbo. By the way, that's probably why that's his profile picture, his hat in his eyes. He doesn't want to trigger me. That's not really a story. I feel like everybody has like that celebrity story that's not really a story. Like, did I tell you I saw Zac Efron? Oh, what happened? I went to a place that people said famous people went to, and he was there, and he was like, he ate food there. He was like, I don't know, he was like, oh, what did he do? He had his fork, and he was like, it was like a potato. It was a potato. It's crazy though, like he wasn't famous. Like I had every opportunity. If I just walked out into the lobby and been like, Mom, I'll be right back. I've got broing out to do. And then maybe I would have taken his place. I would have been in Lady Bird. I would have been dooning it up right now, filming the sequel, working on my jawline. Look at these two profile pictures. You tell me who's happier, who has a more comfortable bed. I actually do have a really comfortable bed right now, but I also have a cold sore. Do you think he's ever got a cold sore? I bet it would be chiseled cold sore. It was most likely nothing. Like I'm someone who's constantly realizing I'm staring at somebody for no reason. Like if anyone would ask like, hey, why do you keep looking at me? I would probably be like, oh no, I'm just thinking about mac and cheese and trying to taste it with my thoughts. And for some reason your forehead was really helping me get there. Anyway, last week I tweeted this, ... Okay, I just realized what they were doing in the basement in that 70s show. What the F? I hate when people say what the F because it doesn't have that uck. But I can't say that. People will get mad. My mom said I can't swear anymore. She said she won't go to the movies with me. Let me explain what I was trying to do with my tweet. First of all, if you don't know what that means, there was a show in like the late 90s, early 2000s called That 70s Show, where it was about like teenagers in the 70s, and they were doing a little bit of doing what teenagers do in the 70s. And there were these scenes where they'd all be in a circle, and it was heavily implied that they were having fun with some but they never really said it outright, and they never showed it. So I thought it would be funny to imagine, what if I was a guy who like 15 years later was just like grocery shopping and just like dropped my avocado oil like, oh my god, like a scientist in a movie. By the way, I tweet a lot of things that I don't mean. The other week, I think it was last month, I tweeted, if you eat brown rice, you're a sucker. Let me just show you. I do not think that brown rice consumers are suckers on account of I am one and I ain't a sucker. It's good. I just say dumb stuff on the internet, and you know why? Because it's really fun for me. It's like the only way I know how to have fun anymore. I'm having a really hard time, and it helps me. I didn't think that tweet would go anywhere. Like, a few months ago I tweeted, what's the boss's name on SpongeBob again? Krispy Kreme? I thought that was gonna go viral. Nothing. By the way, my neighbor is yelling outside. I'm gonna go into my walk-in closet where I film my second channel videos. Let's transport the chair. By the way, looking at my old tweets, I can't lie. Do you ever look at your old posts and you laugh like somebody else wrote it? Like, man, you get me. No offense, but Jimmy would never hold a sign that says this. Just the idea of like seeing Jimmy Fallon on the street, just like with that smile. Like, Jimmy, what do you mean? He's just like, I don't even know, but you have to do it. But anyway, I assume what happens is that when one of my tweets gets kind of popular, it ends up on that little page that like shows you, oh, these are the 10 to 40 big tweets of the day. Usually they're about like relationships or nostalgia. The other day I saw one, it had like hundreds of thousands of likes, and the tweet was just, when you thought you mattered to somebody, and like 20 clown face emojis. By the way, would it be funny, I just thought of a response to that. What if I quote tweeted that one and said, did Pennywise write this because of the clown emoji? I'm gonna tweet that. I'm gonna tweet that right now. I'm gonna put my phone down, or I'm gonna put it on airplane mode, and I'm not gonna look at it till the end, and I'll tell you how many likes it got. What if I went viral by the end of this video? You'd scream. You'd scream like Bieber getting popped out. A demon. Sorry, I was gonna edit that. By the way, I don't like being in here. I'm gonna go back into my bedroom, and if you don't wanna watch a video where there might be a neighbor screaming outside, don't watch this, but maybe it could be fun. You can try and make out what he's saying. Okay, I think you're talking about Timothée Chalamet too much. By the way, speaking of viral tweets, I worry sometimes, I'm gonna go into like an internet theory here. I'll put some music over it so it's less boring. I worry sometimes that we're so hungry for content that we're just demanding less and less from it to the point where there's no creativity left in it at all, and it's just a vessel for us to kind of feel like a human, because so much of the time when we're using our devices, we don't actually feel like a human. We feel like an extension of the device itself, and it scares us. So when we see somebody being like, that moment when you have to pee so bad you just, and it's like a knife emoji, and you just go, oh, that's right, I'm a person. Oh my God, Tom. You tag Tom in it. Tom, remember the car when we were people in a car and we're not a robot? It's like that feeling you got when you were in middle school and you read a book that actually meant something to you for the first time and you felt seen by words on a page, has been hijacked and co-opted by tiny little less meaningful bursts of it all day, because we don't actually get that feeling anymore because we don't really read books. You used to have to read The Great Gatsby to get that. Nobody does their homework anymore. I never read The Great Gatsby. Only thing I know about Great Gatsby is that Lana Del Rey sang a song on the soundtrack and it sounded good. Anyway, I tweeted that at night. It did like okay. I woke up the next day and it just wouldn't stop. And there was actual anger. I swear it was real anger. And I'm always very interested when I see anger online, because so often anger online doesn't make any sense, is so clearly some type of projection, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. And here's what I think, kind of. If you knew somebody or just saw, imagine you see some random guy on the street, Jimmy Fallon holding a Keep Frozen sign, and he said, oh my God, I just realized what they were doing in the basement of that '70s show. What the heck? Would that make you mad? Would you slap Jimmy Fallon and go, you should have known that, Jim? No, because you're normal, or you're not. I mean, you're not a fool. Or you are an abnormal fool, but it's completely. But if what you perceive to be 100,000 people stood in front of you and simultaneously said, we didn't know what they were doing in the basement on that '70s show, you'd be like, oh my God, why don't these people shut up? They're so stupid, that's so annoying. But you'd also feel very alone. Because like what I'm talking about is people don't think of tweets or anything, memes or Instagram posts, as written by a person. Once they become popular enough, we think of them as just written by it's supposed to be written by everyone at the same time, and it kind of makes us upset when it doesn't line up with what's in our brain. I have that moment all the time and I always question it. Like I'll see a meme or something that's like, you know when you, and I'm like, I don't know when I do because I don't do it. Why'd you say I did? I didn't. And then I'm searching the responses and the replies for the person who is like me and validates that I like still exist. And I can't lie, like when I was getting all those like angry responses, I want so badly to sit here and be like, I'm a troll and who cares? It's all fun and games. Like the internet is just this fun place where we all kind of tease each other, but it also like starts wars and causes psychosis. My feelings were hurt. Like I think that even if you know that they don't mean it, and if you met them in public and were like, hey, you just called me an idiot on the internet, they'd go, what? Oh, yeah, oh, that's so dumb. How are you? I like you. I like how you put your hair into a ponytail and then smush it into your beanie and it creates this mound on the back of your head. I like that a lot. I'd like to go to dinner with you. Can I go to dinner? I personally think that we are all getting our feelings hurt just a little bit by social media all the time. Like all throughout the day, even if you don't admit it. We are all having these tiny little versions of heartbreak and rejection and resentment that just add up and get our blood pressure rising, and it's uncomfortable and we don't know what to do with it. I don't think our brains are smart enough to know what's even going on when we read stuff online, and we really do perceive it as this big, like faceless, annoying person that we're very mad at. And when we log on, we're coming at it with this resentment. Like when you're kind of like a friend hurts your feelings, but you're not brave enough to tell them and you don't want to make it weird. So you just kind of hold that resentment inside and it ends up coming out anyway. You're just like talking about something else or like joking around and you're just like, well, yeah, you would because you're mean. You're a mean person. Wait, sorry. Like, oh my God, your shoes are so loud. I can't with the shoes right now. When really, like, I like your shoes. Are those Vans? And if you need any proof of that people are coming to the internet with a lot of projected anger that doesn't actually make any sense, I tweeted ... K. I just realized what they were doing in the basement on that '70s show. What the F? And this was something that ended up in my Twitter notifications. How did that happen? Why would that happen? Why would they start talking about Mr. H? Don't do that. I would pay any amount of money to be this dense in real life. Bro, I knew that was weed 4 years. What happened 4 years ago? What does that mean? What weed museum did they go to 4 years ago? What's the address? I sincerely hope this person was born in 2010. I wish I was. Actually, I don't. Oh my God, I'm so glad I wasn't. What a loser. It's just like so uncalled for. It's so uncalled for. That's crazy. This one actually made me laugh. I'm losing my voice. Okay, Drew, baby, look at me. Were you also in the basement? That's funny. Will Smith's outfit is funny, and he's got his hands clasped. I don't know why I lost my voice, and I sound like a completely different person. And it's scaring me, and I just squeaked. Originally, I was getting yelled at, and I just started replying to everyone, I was kidding, I was joking, it's a joke, I was being ironic, you're dumb, I'm not dumb. And then I was like, I deleted all of it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna milk this for all it's worth and double down. Also, imagine saying milk this, that term, to somebody whose like first language isn't English and they've never heard the term milk this before. And you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna milk this. They'd go, don't, why? I'm not funny anymore when my voice, I can't. And why did this guy call me an airhead? An airhead? An airhead, there it is, an airhead? It's in there, an airhead? Anyway, I looked up where the show took place and I replied to my own tweet so it would show up because I knew a bunch of people were looking at it. So it's like this opportunity where you can say stuff that a bunch of people are guaranteed to see. And I put, to anyone acting like I'm stupid, I knew this would make people upset. And that's why I was so excited. I put, I'm stupid because there was smoke everywhere. That 70s show took place in Point Place, Wisconsin, which by the way, in the screenshot it says is a fictional place. It's not even real. 4 major wildfires took place in Wisconsin during that decade. Am I supposed to believe they never opened a window? Anyone would be confused by this, but go off. And you can really take advantage of people's obsessive need for a punching bag. Like it's so easy that it's almost rude of me to do it. But honestly, like I thought that most people would see that and go, okay, I didn't know if he was joking, but of course. But people got even more mad. Like the idea that someone would really, the show went on for like 10 years. Why would I think that there was always a forest fire and they had the window open and were just hanging out talking and giggling? I'm smart. I'm not Jimmy Fallon sitting around with Ellen DeGeneres scaring each other on a couch, studying Wikipedia, but go off. It's a telly show, you crank. What does that mean? I've never been called a crank before, but I think I am a crank. That actually does make sense. Sometimes I'll be sitting around like, what's wrong with me? I think it's that I'm a crank. Oh honey, this isn't the flex you think it is. I thought it was a flex. Honestly, that person who wrote that needed to write that to somebody. Like they're probably mad at their mom, their dad, or their ex, and I gave them that opportunity, and that actually makes me feel good. I also replied to somebody under the tweet and said, it's a show about friends having fun. It's called That 70s Show, not That Drug Show. That was the moment I was like, now I'm going to rile up the stoners. I mean, I really felt like Ellen, just being evil. Like I was just sitting on a couch making Demi Lovato frightened. Nah, you just dense as hell, my boy. By the way, I just realized that I'm basically doing that thing on Jimmy Kimmel called Mean Tweets, except I'm clearly not a celebrity because none of these people actually know who I am. That's actually kind of nice. Like the fact that he acknowledged that I'm still his boy. Like that's always a good thing to be like, I hate you, but let's be real. You'll always be mine. You'll always be my man. You're a D-head. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. No, I'm not. I might be, but there's no way that that's why. How are you trying to defend yourself? The fact that people really talked about it, it all of a sudden became this war where it's like you could say anything online and people treat you like you're in a courtroom in the 1700s. Defend yourself. From being ironic about a sitcom from the 90s? Never. There was somebody under the tweet, by the way, I know I'm talking about this so much, but you're the one who's watching it. Probably, is it, yeah, it's just because of my beanie mound. You're here for the beanie mound? You're here for the beanie mound? Beanie mound you're here for. They're like, oh my god, you don't get it, it's Drew Monson, dummy, which I didn't want. And then I tried to look at that person's, the tweet they were replying to, and it wouldn't let me, so I went into incognito mode, and it turns out the person had blocked me, and they were like, I hate people like this, pretending that they're stupid, so you think that I'm stupid, I don't know who Drew Monson, and they blocked me. I felt like enemy number 1. Let me just say, because I think I'm done talking about this, the internet is very stressful. You knew that already. You're smart. People talk about it like we're not equipped for all this information, and I think that we're not just emotionally equipped for all these different points of view, and in order to save time and to keep us from just like slamming our head against the wall or other people, we've just learned and trained ourselves to, more than ever, because I think we've always loved doing this, look at things as this is somebody who is me and my friends and in our group, or this is the other people, the annoying people. Everyone's always saying people are annoying. All the replies to this tweet, so many of them were people, you people, why do people think this? And I just kept thinking, who's people? Am I people? I'm just one guy. Is people the other people who liked this? Is people just the people that you aren't? You're some type of people and other people are a different type of people. I've noticed, I don't know if you've had this, but like the past 3 or 4 years, and I think as social media is ramping up and getting faster and faster, almost every conversation I've had with somebody I know, at some point one of us or both of us goes, people are so annoying. People on the internet. We're always talking about people, and I'm kind of like, who's to say that I'm not people? Who's to say that you're not people? The annoying version, the good version, the bad version, the version that takes things too seriously, the version that's too sensitive, that believes misinformation. We're always going, people do this, instead of just, we're all people. People are annoying. We're all annoying because we're dealing with an annoying way of talking to other people. And that's like, okay, I think. Just going, oh my God, people, people, people. But I'm people, you're people. We're people, man. I'm not trying to be toxic positive. And I lost my voice, and if I hadn't have lost my voice, I feel like this whole thing would have meant a lot more. I'm glad you watched this video. Also, in my last video on my main channel, I don't even know if anyone's noticed this. At the end of all of my videos, I sing a song, I guess you've noticed this, that says, leave me a comment, I'm very lonely. My last video, I forgot to do it. I straight up completely forgot. I just danced at the end. If you watch my last video, which you should watch, by the way. I talk a lot about, it's called How to Quit Smoking, or the way I quit smoking, but there's a lot more things in it. But I literally was like walking around, dropped my avocado oil, and was just like, I cannot believe I forgot to sing the I'm Very Lonely song for the first time in like 8 years. So now I'm gonna do it. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna sing it twice, because I owe you one. Anybody who cares. I saw one comment. I was expecting everyone to, because when I realized it, like my heart actually sank. I was expecting everyone to be like, Drew, no, we love it. And one person. This is for that one person. I'm gonna sing it twice. With a voice that is not really there. Maybe it'll sound better. What if I became like the next Justin Bieber and like my thing that like, do you hear that new singer Drew Monson? Yeah, he doesn't have a voice. He lost his voice while making a video about going viral on Twitter. Yeah, they call him the squeaker. He squeaks. Leave me a comment, I'm very lonely. Leave me a comment, I'm very... No, it can't work this way. Well, now I gotta do it again though. This is a little bit stressful, this whole video. I'm having fun. I don't know if people can tell when I'm having fun, because I think that me having fun looks like me freaking out. It's like the same thing. Leave me a comment, I'm very lonely. 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 I lost my voice, don't be mad at me. Okay, I have a Patreon, by the way. I'm gonna talk a little bit longer on there. I'm gonna like rest my voice and film the Patreon video later, so tune into my Patreon and see if I still don't have a voice. You don't care about my health? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's only $5 to show someone that you care about. No, I'm not. It's fine. It's surprising. No, it's surprising. It's surprising. See you later. Also, I forgot, if you're still watching, I do have the results for my Did Pennywise Write This tweet. You forgot too, didn't you? Let's see if I'm going viral. Getting screamed at real good by Pennywise stans. Okay, we got 66 retweets, 161 likes. I don't like that, and I know that I'm superstitious, but there is 3 6s in that grand total, and I'm gonna like it myself. Oh, no, that's still 6. Okay, now it's just 1162. I'm scared. Pray for me. The first reply also says, haha, Drew, you're so funny and original. But the ha is spaced out. I think they're being sarcastic. Who is this? They're holding a rat. Are rat people sarcastic? Rat people are sincere, huh? Maybe I am funny.